Yeah, she said that in the prayer. They returned 5 million.
They returned 5 million?
Yes.
Very well. And that was the mocking statement, in your view?
Yes.
That is what is deemed vilification of church leaders.
Yes.
So when I tell you that the governor made an inquiry later, and she understood that land had actually been leased, and these persons were trustees, would you say that that is not accurate, or she was already in view of the knowledge? Based on your personal information, personal knowledge, would you know?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Honorable members and Honorable Chair, there is a report that the governor sought on the status of this land. And as you've said, you've had this report is at page 107, bundle of documents in support of the governor's answer, volume 2, at page 107.
Yes, Council.
Yes, and at page 143 that follows, there is a document from the church. And you can see in that document, the church explains what it understands is the nature of that land and the two public institutions operating on that land.
Through the chair.
Thank you.
Yes. Chairman, I do not want to question my colleague's style, but wouldn't it be better if he led these documents during the taking of his own witness and use his time to put questions to this witness about the things that he has told this committee?
I think, Council,
Yes.
the senator has a point.
Yes.
But I don't want to take away anything from you, yes, because even the guidance the senator is giving you, yes, you are still within the framework, yes, because what you are asking, yes, arose when the Council of the County Assembly was making their case. But the senator we are requesting you, yes, that which you can reserve for your time tomorrow, yes, do so, and here just highlight. It don't look like you're prosecuting your case.
Very well.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand. I'm aware of it.
And for your information,
Yes.
the County Assembly did 1 hour, 45 minutes,
Yes.
and you're now done 1 hour, 10 minutes. And in the usual practice,
Yes.
your side cannot be given the same time. You're just supposed to or am I out of?
No, Chairman.
Your time is supposed to be shorter.
In
really.
a quarter of an hour,
Yeah.
I'll wrap up.
Yeah. Quarter of an hour.
Quarter of an hour.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Members, you okay? Very well.
There is one last charge on verification of readers. There was an MP called Mpuru.
Yes, yes. Purwaburi.
Have you talked to him about this motion?
Yes, I did.
Did you receive any statement from him?
I did not take any statements
You
from
did
him.
not take any statements from
Yes.
him. He's a leader in Meru County.
Yes.
If he feels despised, he has ways of also approaching the governor or the relevant authorities.
He also has ways of complaining on his own.
He has also ways of complaining on it.
Yes.
And you have not seen the honorable member petition the county assembly?
No.
No. I'm going to the one issue which also rotates to the issue of the Igoji Secondary School, the appointment of the first gentleman as a patron of the youth, what is that position?
Patron of the Male Youth Service.
Youth Service.
Yes.
In that video where that appointment was purportedly made by the governor, she followed with another appointment of the first gentleman as the ambassador of the hustlers for Meru.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yes.
These hustlers, would you call them or classify them mostly the youth or the senior citizens in the county?
Hustlers are maybe the people who are struggling.
People who are struggling.
Yes.
They are mostly the youths without jobs.
It's not the youth who are struggling in this country.
Mostly. I've used the word mostly.
We can say that.
We can say that.
Yeah.
You do not agree, or do you agree?
With the term hustlers.
In your understanding, I've, by the way, really admired your eloquence and appreciation of the English language. I'm very impressed. Yeah. In your understanding of the English term patron, what do you understand it to mean? In the ordinary language.
Patron is like an overseer, someone who oversees what is happening in a particular area.
Let me put it otherwise. A patron is a ceremonial office. A patron is invited for ceremonies when a club or an organization or a group have a ceremony or an event. Patron people go for advice. They go to seek sponsorship. They go to seek connections with sponsors. And that's why even persons who frequent the watering holes, we are patrons to those bars. That's correct?
That's correct.
Because we support them.
That's correct.
So if I tell you that the understanding of the term patron is not a creature of a county office, but a ceremonial office for that purpose only, would you refute?
In this context?
No, in my context.
In your context, I will
Would you
not
say
refute.
yes or no?
In your, from
No.
the definition,
Answer my question so that
I don't refute.
You do not refute.
Yes.
So you do not refute.
Yes.
Okay. There was the issue of the county order. I mean the order from the court, the
Yes.
conservatory order.
Yes.
When the motion was quashed,
Yes.
you sought the advice of your counsel for interpretation of that order, as the governor did, on the purport of that order.
Yes, we did.
And
I
you were
did.
advised?
I was advised,
Yes.
and I also read the court order.
No. I want to hear that you were advised that nothing stops you.
We were advised that the court order has quashed
Yes.
the motion dated 22nd November
Yes.
that was supposed to be debated on the November 30th.
Thank you very much.
And that was the...
So
yeah.
when you sought advice from your counsel, you also expect the governor sought advice of her counsel?
Yes.
Would you charge her or verify her for following the advice of her counsel?
I cannot.
You cannot.
Yes.
You received a letter from her counsel explaining why they do not intend to appear, because they do not want to violate their own orders that they got in their own favor. You saw that letter?
I saw it.
Hazard.
It was read by
Would
the
you
speaker.
verify the governor for following such an advice and communicating to you?
I cannot vilify the governor
cannot
for
verify the
following the
governor.
advice of counsel.
Thank you very much. We are coming to the other issue of public participation. About how many people participated?
Roughly in the region of 3,000, by if you count
In the region of 3,000.
the attachments, yeah.
And about how many approved the motion? How many approved the motion?
It's difficult to say exactly
Roughly.
the number
The
because
same you have estimated roughly.
you can say 60-70% of the respondents were approving the motion because of the circumstances of the day.
60 or 70 people? 70%?
No, I'm saying 60-70% were approving the motion.
70%
Yeah.
were approving the motion. So 70% of about 3,000. And the registered voters in Meru are 879,000. That correct?
That's 810,000.
810,000.
Yes.
Thank you for the exactitude. So in advertising for this motion, you put out radio adverts and newspaper adverts.
Yes.
In your target audience, how many read newspapers? In your estimation, in terms of percentage?
I don't have that statistic, so
Estimation.
I'll be lying
You
if
have
I give
formed
any
so many
number.
opinions, Mr. DMK. How many?
How can you tell how many
You
people read
cannot
newspapers?
tell. Did you advertise that motion in any formal gathering like a church?
The motion was advertised on newspapers and radio.
no.
A formal
I'm asking-
gathering like a church?
Did you advertise in the church?
No.
No. Did you sponsor a road show to advertise the motion?
No.
Did you understand the implications of this motion to overturn a whole election of a governor simply because she was undesirable to you?
I understand the implications
understand the
of
implications.
impeachment
Thank you.
as provided by law.
Thank you very much. So you only did 2 advertisements. The other question I want to ask is, were you in the Windsor meeting that was convened, coordinated, and presided over by the chair of the County of Governors?
Yes, I was.
You was.
Yes.
And it was a meeting between the governor and the MCAs
Yes, and a select team of governors.
and certain team of governors.
Yes.
And you agreed on a way forward.
Yes.
There's also a letter where the governor wrote to the county assembly asking for a consultative meeting to the assembly.
Yes.
All of you had gone to the grassroots. You remember?
Yeah.
Or
at
that's the
point in
response
time.
the speaker gave.
Yes, yes.
You also remember that in your motion you lament that the governor is going to the grassroots alone.
In the motion, I have not indicated anywhere
You've not-
about the governor going to the ground alone, and that's not a crime.
You've not indicated anywhere.
Yes.
In that, when the county speaker said that you people are not available, was there any follow-up on the part of the assembly to propose dates when you could be available to meet the governor?
The burden was on the governor to select
The burden is on the governor.
to select another date
How will she know what is convenient a date for you?
by calling the speaker and talking, because the correspondence was between the two.
Did you inform her that she has a burden to call the speaker and arrange a date?
I think she should have read the letter that the speaker wrote.
In that letter, did you see anywhere she's told to call?
Yeah, the speaker has mentioned that the governor can select another date.
No. I'm talking about, you
Yes.
said a phone call to the speaker to arrange and agree which date is convenient to the MC.
There is no statement like
There's
that
no
in his letter.
statement.
Yeah.
You, in the course of cross-examination, you have also admitted that you made certain attributes about the governor that may not be very happy. Would you also like to be prosecuted for those utterances?
Which utterances are these?
That the governor cannot read 1 billion shillings, the governor cannot manage 63 million, the governor is illiterate. The governor
I don't
is
think-
not. Elegant. The governor is not flamboyant. She's
Councillor, I have
a
not
showboat.
made all those allegations. In
Yeah.
my speech. It was about mathematics in that speech. And I do not wish to address issues that I've handed to what I had said in that particular. Video, because my talk was all about the numbers, and it was a campaign. Anyway, before the elections, and the